Ever wondered how the great philosophers managed to stay mentally tough in the face of life's challenges? We're not just talking about resilience or grit. We're delving into the arena of mental toughness, a blend of strength, resilience, and a unique perspective on the world around us. This elusive quality, often found in the greatest minds throughout history, is what allows us to face adversity head-on, to remain unfazed by life's unpredictability. Understanding the thinking patterns of these philosophers is like unlocking a treasure chest of wisdom. They've grappled with the same existential questions that we face today. Their philosophies, forged in the crucible of their own experiences, can provide us with the tools to develop our own mental toughness. So, whether you're facing a personal hurdle or simply curious about how the minds of these philosophers work, you're in the right place. It's time to take a deep dive into the minds of these great thinkers and see what we can learn. Let's begin with the Stoics, philosophers who believed in the power of rational thinking. These were not your average thinkers, but individuals who dared to challenge the norms of their time, who dared to question the world around them and the emotions within them. Stoicism, an ancient school of philosophy, was founded by Zeno of Citium in the early 3rd century BC. It's a philosophy that places great emphasis on virtue and moral character, asserting that virtue is the only good and that the path to happiness is found in understanding the natural world and our place within it. But perhaps what makes Stoicism most intriguing is its focus on the control of emotions and detachment from external circumstances. You see, the Stoics believe that we don't control the world around us, but we do control how we respond to it. They argued that our emotions are the product of our judgments, and that by changing our judgments, we can change our emotional responses. Take, for instance, Seneca, a prominent Stoic philosopher who once said, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality." Seneca understood that our minds often create more suffering than the actual events in our lives. By recognizing this, and by learning to control our judgments, we can reduce unnecessary suffering. Then there's Epictetus, a former slave-turned-philosopher, who taught that we should focus our energy on things within our control and let go of things beyond our control. This simple yet powerful idea is a cornerstone of Stoic philosophy. And of course, we cannot forget Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher, whose personal writings, known as Meditations, offer profound insights on how to deal with adversity and live a virtuous life. Marcus Aurelius emphasized the importance of acting with integrity and treating others with kindness, regardless of their actions towards us. The Stoics teach us to control what we can and accept what we can't, a crucial step toward mental toughness. By applying their teachings, we can learn to navigate life's challenges with grace and composure, cultivating a resilient mind capable of withstanding any storm. From the Stoics, we move to the Existentialists, philosophers who believed in the power of individual freedom and personal responsibility. Existentialism may seem a mouthful, but it's a philosophy that shines a light on the human condition in a unique way. It's all about making personal choices and standing by them. It's about being authentic, about being you, in a world that often tries to shape us into something else. Consider Jean-Paul Sartre, a leading figure of existentialism. He proposed that we are doomed to be free. Doomed might sound a bit dramatic, but what Sartre meant was that every choice we make defines who we are. There's no escaping it. We are the sum of our decisions, and with that freedom of choice comes immense responsibility. And then there's Albert Camus, an existentialist who embraced the absurdity of life. For Camus, life was inherently meaningless, but that didn't make it worthless. Instead, he urged us to create our own sense of purpose, to find meaning in the meaningless. Finally, we can't forget Søren Kierkegaard, often considered the father of existentialism. Kierkegaard emphasized the importance of personal choice and commitment. He believed that truth is subjective and that each of us must find our own path in life. So, what can we learn from these existentialist thinkers? They remind us that we are not just passive players in life's grand theater. We're the playwrights, the directors, the actors. We write our own scripts, we direct our own scenes, and we play our own parts. That's a powerful thought, isn't it? Sure, it's a little daunting. After all, it's easier to let someone else call the shots. But existentialism reminds us that we have the power to shape our own destiny. And so, we circle back to mental toughness, because what's more empowering than knowing you have the reins of your life firmly in your hands? That's the existentialist perspective. The existentialists remind us that we are the authors of our own lives, a powerful tool for mental toughness. Finally, we'll explore the pragmatists, philosophers who believed in the power of practical problem solving. Pragmatism, in its essence, is a philosophy that places emphasis on the practical application of ideas by acting on them to actually test them in human experiences. It is about finding solutions that work and discarding those that don't. Pragmatists argue that the truth isn't a stagnant, fixed entity, but something that's continually shaped by our experiences and actions. They believe that ideas and beliefs should be treated as tools, to be used when they're helpful and set aside when they're not. Now let's meet some of the key thinkers in this school of thought. William James, John Dewey, and Charles Sanders Peirce were pivotal figures in the development of pragmatism. James, known as the father of American psychology, argued that beliefs are rules for action, and that the truth of an idea must always be a matter of its practical impact. He proposed that if an idea leads to a beneficial outcome, then it can be considered true. Dewey, an educational reformer, emphasized the importance of experiential learning. He argued that we learn best not from abstract principles, but from engaging directly with the world around us. He believed that education should prepare us to solve practical problems and to make a positive impact on society. Peirce, the founder of pragmatism, believed that our ideas must be subject to tests and potential falsification. He was a firm believer in the scientific method and insisted that for an idea to be meaningful, it must have practical bearings. In summary, pragmatism is a philosophy of action. It's about testing our beliefs through experiences, learning from the results, and continually refining our understanding of the world. It's about being open to new experiences and willing to change our minds in the light of evidence. So, how does this relate to mental toughness? Well, mental toughness is all about resilience, adaptability, and problem solving. It's about being able to face challenges head-on, learn from them, and come out stronger on the other side. The pragmatists show us that practical problem solving is key to mental toughness. So, how can we apply these philosophical insights to our own lives? Let's start with Stoicism. This philosophy teaches us to focus on what we can control and let go of what we can't. In everyday situations, this could mean not stressing over a delayed train, but instead using that time to read or plan your day. Stoicism encourages us to see obstacles as opportunities for growth. So next time you face a challenge, ask yourself, what can I learn from this? Next, let's consider existentialism. This philosophy prompts us to find our own meaning in life and take full responsibility for our actions. So instead of blaming circumstances or other people for our problems, we should take charge and create our own path. If you're unhappy in your job, for instance, existentialism would encourage you to seek out what truly fulfills you, even if it's scary or uncertain. It's about embracing the freedom to make our own choices. Lastly, we have pragmatism. This philosophy is all about finding what works and discarding what doesn't. It encourages us to be flexible and adaptable. For example, if your current approach to a task isn't working, don't be afraid to switch gears. Try a different method, seek advice, or reevaluate your goals. Pragmatism teaches us that there is no one-size-fits-all solution, and that progress often requires trial and error. Each of these philosophies can help us develop mental toughness. Stoicism builds our resilience, existentialism empowers us to take control, and pragmatism fosters adaptability. But remember, these philosophies aren't quick fixes. They require consistent practice and reflection. They ask us to confront uncomfortable truths and make challenging changes. So let's not be daunted by the path ahead. Instead, let's face it with courage and curiosity, armed with the wisdom of great philosophers. Because in the grand arena of life, it's not about never falling, but about always getting back up. Remember, developing mental toughness is a journey, not a destination. In conclusion, thinking like a philosopher can be a powerful tool for mental toughness. We've journeyed together through the realms of Stoic, existentialist, and pragmatist thinking, each offering unique perspectives to fortify our mental resilience. Stoicism taught us to be masters of our reactions, to understand the divide between what we can and cannot control. The existentialist perspective encouraged us to find our own meaning in life, to be the authors of our own narratives, irrespective of external circumstances. And the pragmatist view, it emphasized the importance of practical solutions, reminding us that the value of any idea lies in its usefulness. Incorporating these philosophical approaches into daily life, we can strengthen our mental toughness, better navigate life's challenges, and ultimately, live more fulfilling lives. Remember, philosophy isn't just an academic discipline, it's a way of life, a tool for personal growth and transformation. It's time to embrace your inner philosopher and cultivate mental toughness. The journey begins now.